Hello and welcome to the Pig and Whistle Tales from Azeroth. As always here at the Pig and Whistle in Installment, I go through a variety of subjects with regards to World of Warcraft. So grab a bottle or a pint, sit back and enjoy. This midweek episode, we'll be going over the latest PTR patch for retail. We're going to be looking at a few different pieces, such as the drive, the warband camps, graphics, and essentially the overall PTR update. We won't be going into any class changes, though, as there are way too many to cover on here. Way too many. But these are going to be the main features of the patch 11.1 that you'll be looking out for, basically when you first start playing. So, without further ado, let's start by going and addressing the drive first impression, essentially. So, drive is this new mechanic that they're bringing into WoW. It's essentially dragon riding, but for your ground mount. So you can drift, you can accelerate, you have a high top speed, stuff like that. Now, there are different items that you can change in this. So, firstly, you can change the color of your car. You can have neutral, red, green, blue, and yellow. As of the moment on the PTR, these are the colors that you can use and basically have on your car. They have no impact on the actual performance of the car. They are simply whichever car you would prefer, or whichever color you would prefer using. Personally, got to be a blue car for me. Really does. Now you have the engine. So there's a lot of flavor text to these things. I won't go through the flavor text, but essentially the bottom two lines are what matters. So it has a slow top speed, an average top speed, or a high top speed. Okay. Now for the first one is the POSIX standard. This has an average top speed and average acceleration. The C77 or G77C Ultra has decreased top speed but increased acceleration. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? And then you have the GNZ Airmaster 9000 is a better top speed, but decreased acceleration. So these are things that you can switch out on these vehicles, essentially. And it allows you to increase or decrease your top speed, acceleration, drift handling, all of that stuff. For wheels, you have Tread Be Gone. This is average grip while drifting. 22H Slicks, this is grip while drifting is increased, and GE86 Advance, this decreases the grip while drifting. Now, I'm very shit at this, but why would you decrease the grip when you're drifting? Is it so that you could drift like at a different sort of angle, like a wider angle? That's my guess to it. I don't really see why anyone would take the decreased grip. I really don't. But please, if you have any ideas, let me know. I'm really not one to be sort of a car person when it comes to these sort of things. So that's what these do. That's what the wheels do. Your turbo basically increase the boost efficiency or boost speed. So wild fuel Mark 0, average boost speed, average boost efficiency. Turbo hand crank, boost speed increased, boost efficiency decreased, and then the steam boil where the boost speed is increased and boost efficiency is decreased. Okay, so wait, there's two that increase the boost speed but decrease the boost efficiency. Okay, I would have thought that's different. I would have thought that's the other way around. I would have thought it would give a really big boost at the start, but the boost speed is not great, you know. I think maybe that's a typo, but I can't really say for sure. And now you actually have one that I think is going to be quite fun. You have passenger. So these are not yet implemented, by the way, but you have passenger, none, which is obviously just a no passenger. You have passenger Louis Firehands, which looks to me like a crab. You have passenger Zaps Leadfoot, which looks to me like a goblin. Jack's Jabberjaw. I don't know what this one is. It has a picture of a rocket, so this could be anything. And then Axel Sneakfoot. I'm guessing these are all maybe like the last three are all sort of goblins. I would like if you could have your own passenger, like you can in dragon riding, where someone can become a whelp on your dragon riding mount, and you can sort of chauffeur them around. I would like that to be in the drive, and I think that this is what is going to happen. Now, as for the actual like controls of it or how it feels quite good. It actually, well, I haven't personally tested it myself, but it looks relatively smooth. Now, obviously, people can play around with the highest acceleration, more decreased speed, whatever you might want. Better grip handling, less grip when you're drifting, you know, all of that stuff can be played with. But it looks quite well done in terms of the, what would you call it, the infrastructure of the city. So the roads are very good for these sort of vehicles to drive. The only problem going forward is, will other cities be as effective at driving? So obviously this patch is based around this mechanic, or somewhat around this mechanic. Other cities in the future will not be. They will have to be taken into consideration if people like this. And I think a lot of people will. I think a lot of people will enjoy this. That the cities or towns in the near future, and the zones for that matter, need to be accommodating to this drive mechanic, essentially. Now, you do have to unlock these via certain methods where maybe they are renowned. We do not know yet, for example. We do not know fully. I believe that they have given everyone the baseline stuff, like during questing, and then you earn it through renown. But you can, when you're going through this, kind of like dragon riding, you can do driving races. So you can do cruise control or time trial. Now, cruise control, you finish tasks at your own pace, get bonus rewards every 10th completed task. And then time trial, complete the jobs as fast as possible to earn prestige and bonus rewards. Very easy, right? These things are probably, when starting these missions, you can pick between, so essentially you get rewards for these, probably renown, some like currency and bits and bobs like that. But essentially it is dragon riding. So you have the time trials for dragon riding, you have the normal courses for dragon riding. I think that the drive feature looks really cool. I think that it's something that is going to be slept on, kind of like dragon riding. But I just hope that they don't make it too complex. They make it simple but yet engaging, kind of like they did with dragon riding, and I think that they will. It looks like they have done, and it looks quite good. I'm not going to lie, it looks enjoyable. Now, moving on to the next part of 11.1 is the one that I'm actually quite looking forward to, and that is the warband campsite screen reveals. So these warband campsite reveals, essentially on your main menu, you get to choose where your party, your little warband, is hanging out. And so far it is hanging out in the Adventurer's Rest sort of campsite is what it's called, where you've got a little campfire in the middle and you've got a forest sort of behind you. There are 4 new ones that have been added, and these are as follows. You have Onaran Outlook, and this is given to you upon logging in. So you automatically get one whenever you log in next in 11.1. You have Cultist Quarry. Boy? Quay? Why? Quay? Cultist Quay? Oh no. That's a weird word. But essentially, to get this, you have to progress Season 2 Delver's Journey achievement. I think that's an achievement anyway. For Freywold Spring, you have to do the achievement That's all that Kaz. And this is essentially leave no stones unturned by completing the Kazalgar achievements below. This is Kazalgar Glyph Hunter, Lore Hunter, Allied Races Earthen, Diplomat, Lore Master of Kazalgar, and Kazalgar Flight Master. So these are very simple achievements, but ones that people might have missed. I know I certainly have. You have Galagio Grand Gallery. Now, this is obviously the new raid, and you get this by doing the achievement Racing to a revolution. Experience the sights, sounds, and smells of the Undermine by completing the achievements below. This is Treasures of the Undermine, Read Between the Lines, That Can Do Attitude, 9/10 of the Law, and Adventurer of Undermine. So, all of these are going to be locked behind an achievement of some sort, or something simpler. I hope that you can, maybe with gold, buy something like this. So that if you have a bit of gold to sort of bury, you can do so on these campsites. Maybe it's like 1 million gold per like pop, something like that, 500k. And it might reduce depending on how far through the achievements you are. I think that'll be a really cool incentive and a nice gold sink for the expansion. I don't think that they will do that, but you know, it is what it is. When you hover over these campsites in the actual menu itself, it will tell you how to achieve them, okay? It tells you the zone, it tells you the achievement you need, and it tells you where you can buy it. So, for example, the Cultist Quay, you get it from Reno Jackson after you've done the achievement. Very simple, right? I think these are really cool. There's only these 4 others up at the moment. They will be adding to this, all right? With Onaran Outlook already there, I wouldn't be surprised to see Waking Shore or Thaldraszus or Azure Span or anything like that. They might do like they might do a sort of zone per expansion going back like every patch. So next time it will be what was it? Dragonflight. What was before Dragonflight? It might be a Shadowlands like sort of theme. So for the Shadowlands one, you might have an Ardenweald background, which will be really cool campsite for an Ardenweald backdrop. You might have just Bastion, you might have Maldraxxus, any of them, and then you obviously have 3 sort of normal ones, just sort of basic ones. One can always be the raid of like the current tier. One can always be the next sort of landmass that they add in the next patch. You know, you've got your basis there of one expansion, one from an expansion, one from the current patch, and then one from the zone from the current patch. You know, one from the raid, one from the zone. You know, you've got a very good baseline there that you can constantly add on for so many years, to be honest, at this point now. But they look really good. I'm really happy with it. And I think that this is something small that, again, will go under the radar that a lot of people might not pick up on. Next one is something that people might not care about, but it's going to be very cool. So, there are new swirlies. What do I mean by swirlies? So, swirlies on the ground, they usually have a distinct look. So, when a boss does a mechanic and it targets this area mechanic, there's these swirly animations, and these swirly animations don't really have a border to them. So, you can move out of them and think that you're out of them, but really your toes dipping in and you're going to get hit by it. They have changed this animation completely. It is now a full-on circle, okay? It's just a circle on the floor that's very bold, very outlined, and you can clearly see it, which is amazing. So the reason that they're doing this, okay, before like we get into like very much what they look like and why this is good, but they have said that they wanted to cut down on the lack of add-ons that are needed for raids, essentially. And this is a very good sort of direction to take the game, because in the past, you're looking at a World of Warcraft Mythic Raiders like stream, and what you're seeing is 200 weed corers saying, move here, dodge this, go here, go to this point. Now, Blizzard want to implement mechanics that make it easier for the players to just go, oh, okay, I've actually got to play the game. And I think they will get to a point where eventually they want add-ons to be removed from WoW. Maybe not like all add-ons, maybe just ones like WeakAuras that help you play the game a bit more, and some people view as cheating, which I kind of agree, because it kind of plays the game for you. But ones that are like that, maybe they want them removed. Whereas other ones, like if you want to change your base UI, you still can. But I think that this is the direction that they want to go in. And I think it will be really good to do so, in my honest opinion. But this is the very simple mechanic that they've changed. It is a swirly on the floor, but instead now it's actually got a full border around it. You can see very clearly where it's going to impact. The swirly is actually on the outside of the border. It's not like interfering with it at all. It still has that sort of very deft sort of swirly animation on the inside of the border, but it is still there, and it's just a lot more clearer. It's really good. I think that this is a good change in the right direction. This means that when people tune in for the Race to World First, you're not seeing 200 weak auras pop up saying, oh my god, go here, dodge this, be here, you know, stop like being next to this guy, be 10 yards away, and something that just says do Arcane Blast or Arcane Barrage now, Arcane Missiles, you know, telling you what to do. I think that this is what Blizzard want to step away from, and I think that this isn't a good thing, in my honest opinion. I get weak auras make the game a bit more playable for some, and that's fine. I don't think that they will completely take away the entirety of add-ons. I don't think they can at this point. I think that they want to reduce them, though, and I think that this is an okay and good sort of thing to attempt to do. I genuinely do, because I go into an arena and I think, okay, do I have the weak aura for Standing Earthen Wall Totem? Do I have the weak aura for like if someone pops Avatar or Ret Wings or Incarn or anything like that? No, okay, I need to get that. And this kind of deters people from the endgame content, because if you want to do Mythics or PvP, it's like, okay, you need these add-ons. You need these add-ons, otherwise you can't do high-end Mythics. And the thing is, I do high-end-ish Mythics. I do like plus 12s, like 10s, 11s, 12s, stuff like that. But I don't use that many add-ons for Mythic Plus. I'm trying to think. I don't think I use any add-ons for Mythic Plus, actually. I think I use a different timer to like show on the right, like when we +2 or +3 it. I think that's about it. Apart from that, no, nothing. And I enjoy this gameplay style. I enjoy having to think instead of it saying move out of this, dodge that and stuff, which is fun. And obviously I died to some simple mechanics every now and again, but that's just because I zone out or something. It happens. But this is what people need to do instead of let the weak auras play the game for you. Actually, you've got to enjoy the game yourself and play it yourself as well. You can't just hear something go beep and then you go, oh, okay, got to move. You have to actually be active and looking at the boss fight, where to position, what to do, stuff like that. So I'm quite happy that they're changing the baseline mechanics of things. And you look at the pictures and it looks really good. It looks really clean. And my first thought was, it's taken them almost 20 years to change this. I cannot believe that it took them 20 years. This surely was a very simple change, but I'm really glad that it is done now. Okay? And this patch is going to be a whole load of small changes that slowly improve the gameplay aspect. You might not notice it, but they will improve the gameplay aspect as an overall sort of deal. Last thing I want to touch on, the War Within dungeons testing has begun. These are the new dungeons, so Operation Floodgate, as well as the War Within dungeons that we previously haven't seen in Season 1. So Cinderbrew Meadery, Dark Flame Cleft, Prairie of the Sacred Flame, and the Rookery. These are obviously the legacy dungeons that are being implemented in as well for the Mythic Plus rotation. You have Operation Mechagon, Workshop, the Motherlode, and Theatre of Pain. Yeah. So, not gonna lie, the dungeons are a bit rough. I'm really not gonna lie. I'm not sure a lot of people enjoyed Mechagon. The Motherlode I certainly didn't enjoy when it was current content, and I only did it on normal and heroic, let alone trying to do that shit on Mythic Plus. But goblin themed, I can understand why they're bringing it back. I can. Now the other ones that I am very interested in playing are the actual ones that are from this expansion. Cinderbrew Meadery, I like the sort of concept of it. Dark Flame Cleft. What one's Dark Flame Cleft, actually? Am I going crazy? Dark Flame Cleft. That's got to be in the Ringing Deeps? It has to be, right? So you have... Oh, no, it isn't. It isn't. Well, either way, Prairie of the Sacred Flame, that one's going to be very enjoyable. That one's in Hallowfall, and that was honestly my favourite dungeon when doing them at the start of the expansion. The Rookery is kind of meh, I'm not going to lie. Dark Flame Cleft, I cannot put a location to. I don't know why. I just can't. Now, Cinderbrew Meadery, I think all of these are going to be good. I genuinely do. Operation Floodgate, I cannot say because I've not seen it. Mechagon, not going to lie, wasn't enjoyable. Same with the Motherlode. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Theatre of Pain. I think it was very good. I think that the only problem that it was, or the only problem with it, was the expansion that it was in. Shadowlands is obviously always tied to being a bad expansion. It is what it is. I'm sorry, but, you know, it's kind of rough. But I think Theatre of Pain will be good fun. I think the ones that you're wanting to dodge, sadly, are the Operation Mechagon and Motherlode. Genuinely. I think they're going to be the toughest as well. Just from pug standards. I cannot give you the sort of idea of the current or the, War Within dungeons, as I've not really seen much of them, apart from the baseline mechanics of normal and stuff. So I think maybe Priory of the Sacred Flame is going to be tough. Maybe last boss when you're running through and you have to kill the ads and stuff as well. Maybe something like that. But apart from that, the dungeons are looking good. They are looking very good. The affixes are getting updated. So they have made a number of adjustments to the affixes that are available for testing. So they will cycle each day on the PTR currently. So one of them, Unified Creatures buffed on all Xal'atath bargain affixes with Xal'atath's Gift, increasing damage done by 50% and reduces damage taken up to 100% for 20 seconds. This is the nullified unified creature buffs. Okay, that's fine. So this is essentially, I think, the one where you have to kill the... Okay, no, I'm just double checking. So there is a new affix called Pulsar. While in combat, Xal'atath summons pulsars that orbit players and must be intercepted within a time limit. This replaces Oblivion. Now, this Oblivion was a simple decurse mechanic, I believe. So I'm not too sure what happens if you don't do it within time. I'm guessing they just detonate and cause sort of party-wide damage. And how do you intercept them? Is it the player just intercepts and you do it sort of like one after the other? Like I go first, then you second, third, fourth, etc.? Or is it just, yep, everyone intercept immediately kind of deal? We don't know yet. Xal'atath's Guile, so redesigned, now causes keystones above level 12 to increase health and damage of enemies by 12% per level instead of 10% per level. Okay, it's not too bad. I don't know. It's a bit weird. 2% seems like nothing, but in the grand scheme of like the health increase, it's going to be quite tough. I'm not going to lie. Xal'atath's Bargain, Voidbound. Dark Prayer is no longer a channel, and the Void Emissary no longer grants damage reduction to creatures while active. Dark Prayer now has a 15-second cast time and grants all nearby creatures in combat Xal'atath's Gift when it finishes casting. The potency of Xal'atath's Gift granted by Dark Prayer is based on the remaining shield percentage of the Void Emissary. So this is the one that spawns and you have to kill the ad before essentially too many stacks happen. What this is changing is the sort of just cleave it down with everything. You actually have to switch to it before that cast goes off. Otherwise, you are in deep shit, essentially. Now, for Keystone Legend, attaining a rating of 2,850, Lindormi will offer players a quest that prevents Keystones level 12 and above from being reduced below 12 for the remainder of the season. This is really cool. Players can speak to Lindormi to lower their Keystone level still. This functionality includes Keystone level decay from the Great Vault. Very, very simple. I think these are decent changes. I think that I'm very intrigued about the orbs going around people, the Pulsar one. I'll be very intrigued to watch that happen, but ultimately these are very good changes, and these are very small changes that are happening within 11.1. These aren't the full sort of like shebang of the patch. I'm very curious to see what they come out with and when this patch is going to get a release date potentially, or at least give us like an idea of when it's released. It will be really helpful for just the current season in terms of people pushing PvP, PvE, whatever they might want to do. and just gives us an idea of patch release cadency, more so than anything. But that is where I will end it for this episode. Thank you all very much for listening. Do check out all of the socials down below. Constant stuff happening over there, as well as check out the Etsy shop. Constant stuff happening constant stuff going on up there. Just put up a Ashbringer 3D printed sword, which I'm really happy has come out. So please do check it out. Would really appreciate it. But thank you all very much for listening once again, and go with Valor, friend. Goodbye all.